All right, ladies and gents, no charts today. We're going to talk about how to approach trading mentally and the type of psychology that you need because I can give you all the strategy that you can get in the world. I could give you the best strategy, but if you do not have the right mentals, you cannot do anything. All right, so trading is a reflection of yourself in a way that you do get instant feedback whether you win or you lose. It's not like a job where you can, clock in for like 2 weeks and then get a paycheck, then you get your feedback. This is you win, okay, you make money right now. You lose money right now. So it can be kind of hectic watching your money go up and down. Like if you have live funds, if you're trading live money, that can be hard to look at. So we must talk about how do we reinvent ourselves. Okay, so what I like to tell people is first, if money, status, and approval didn't mean anything, who would you be and what type of person would you be? And this is so you don't start doing things for the wrong reasons or maybe for other people's approval, or I don't know, you seen somebody with like a bust down AP. Yes, the bust down AP will be nice, but if that's like the only thing motivating you, that's tough. Not gonna lie, that's tough. Um, so we do need to ask ourselves, what are we willing to sacrifice to achieve what we desire? Because this is something where you will lose money, and it's part of the game. It's your tuition basically. Okay, so let's talk about beliefs. A lot of people don't actually know that you can consciously control your belief system and your thoughts instead of the other way around, right? Instead of your beliefs controlling you. And there's no such thing as a good or a bad belief. I highly advise you guys how to think. I advise you to read How to Think Like a Roman Emperor by well, it wasn't by Marcus Aurelius, but like a it was following the Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Really good book, but it just went on to say how I know some people are religious, but they're objectively there's no good or bad thing except that the judgment that we put upon them. And the same thing goes for the subconscious, right? It doesn't look at things as good or bad. Things are just what they are, basically. And over here we have empowering beliefs, so beliefs that bring you closer to your goals, and we have limiting beliefs, beliefs that hinder you from achieving your goals. Which one you choose is on you. Now these things are hardwired by two different things, that would be repetition and emotion. But this right here, this emotion is very, very, very important, because if you just do things just to be doing them, I mean, there's no really like, yes, you'll get results, but not the results that you really want to see had you put like emotion and intent behind it. And I like to think about the fact that, let's say, um, are you being a good person just to be a good person, just for like the sake of being good, or are you actually doing it because you love, like, are you just doing it for points, or are you doing it because you actually want to help somebody out? That's how I like to look at it. It's all about heart posture. And this is what the mind gravitates to. It's not solely based off of logistical reps or like how many reps you do. There comes to a point where there needs to be a bit of right brained activity, I'd like to say. It's a little different than the left brain. The left brain is more logistical, the right brain is your creative side. So, let's talk about how to approach your goals. Okay? So, I like to say prayer, manifestation, whatever you want to call it, is internally shifting to a point in which you are no longer dependent on seeing your external reality change, because you know that the goals that you have in mind are already achieved. Asking, you shall receive. Something like that. All right. So the moment you obsess or attach yourself overly to the outcomes that you expect is the moment you're cooked. Quite simply, For example, you ever chased someone or something and it felt like it was like running away from you? Situations like that. We want to prevent that. And what this is doing is basically indicating subconsciously that you lack whatever that may be. So, what we want to do is write down our goals, actually do what it takes to get there, and operate in the present moment and have faith that these things will be achieved. All you can do is your part. And I do want to get into this right here. The double slit experiment was basically an experiment done in the 1900s where photons were shot through two slits into a wall, and when there was somebody observing the photons, it reacted differently than when people weren't observing. So what you can take from this is the way that you observe matter changes the way it presents itself. So when people were looking at the photons through the microscope, it acted as a solid point, like a solid line. But when they didn't observe it, it acted as a wave. That's that's literally insane. Matter is literally changing in front of your eyes. So the way you perceive something kind of changes the way it presents itself to you. And this is how you should look at literally everything. So, last thing we're going to talk about is, what is the definition of success? Some people may say, I don't know, a wife, a house, a Lamborghini or something. Um, I don't know, $1 million. But my definition of success is stacking experiences, failing and learning in as little time as possible. Okay, that's what that means. And how you can do this is by XP farming. Specifically for my men, I always say that you need a good maybe 3 to 6 months where you just XP farm, bruh. You gotta fit as much time. You have to fit as much things in as little time as possible. That way you can put like a year's worth of work into like 3 to 6 months. You feel what I'm saying? That's what XP farming is. And that's honestly where we're going to leave the video off today. And just know that if you put your mind to something, you can achieve it. Thank you very much.